Hello, Curriculum Resources. Welcome to your weekly explanation. This will take us through Thursday, April 9th. We're going to be looking at the process of child-centered curriculum. How do you develop a play-based curriculum where the children are the focus of it? So here's our checklist. It's going to go over SLO2, describe the process of child-centered curriculum development. This is going to relate to Chapter 15. We're going to have a discussion about the NAEYC standards, and then Field Experience 1 is going to be due. So your lecture content materials right now relates to play materials. There was a lecture I did on play in week 2. This is more information about play and play-based learning. And then we have a decline of play. And it's devastating children. We don't see it now. We'll see the impact of it in 20 years. But the idea that we keep pushing education further down, further down, further down, where we're expecting kids to sit longer, to do worksheets, to do things that third graders should do. When I was working for Dallas ISD, I had them when they were turning 3, so they had to have their first IEP meeting. And so I had to make a decision at that meeting if I thought a child would be able to successfully pass the state test when they were 8. And that's a really hard thing to decide when somebody's 3. We have inappropriate expectations, and so we see a lot of behavior problems that happen because we're expecting kids to give things that they don't have, whether they don't have the self-regulation or the attention span in order to do those things from us. So it's a real crisis. This is the handout that you're going to use. We're going to come back to it in just a second, of the 7 NAEYC standards. I'm going to go ahead and open it in another page for us to come back to in just a second. Hold on. This is the Chapter 15 quiz. You are allowed 2 attempts. This relates to integrating curriculum through pretend and construction play. And so it's really starting you guys thinking more about how to embed more play to teach math and science, social studies, English, math, all those subjects. So I'll go back to my bakery idea of social studies and introducing cultures to them. In a bakery, if I have breads from around the world or if I have desserts from around the world, I let them sample them. Great activity to increase cultural awareness and social studies in that. Now the NAEYC standards discussion. There are 7 NAEYC standards, and so what you're going to do is, as soon as possible, you'll go into reply, and you will say standard 1. And it's going to be a first come, first serve basis. And so it's going to be promoting child development and learning. Okay, so you'll go in and say the standard that you want. And so I'll go through and make sure all the standards are there. And then what we'll do for your initial post due on the 7th, you go through and read it. There is a description of what it is, and then it lets you know what the key elements are. So in each one of these, there's a knowing part, and then there's a doing part. So here for building family and community relationships, knowing about diverse, and then supporting the families and involving the families. So there's a knowing about it and a doing. So when you get a certificate or an AAS degree from us in child development, these are the things you should be skilled in being able to do and recognize and knowing them. So that's going to be it. So you'll come in here in your initial post and answer these questions. What does the statement mean to you? Why is it important? How do you use it? And give an example. Think about times you have been working with children, because I know some of you aren't currently having children in your care. So think about that. In your comments, I want you to give more examples. Think about it from a different perspective, and we'll really flesh out what these things mean. Then you're going to have your first field experience that's going to be due. If you are currently able to be in the classroom observing, I have sent you guys have corresponded with me, and I've sent you the activity. If you are not, and you're watching videos, this is what you're going to do. You're going to observe these 2 interactions. This one has to do with Mackenzie, and I need to go ahead and